Good morning, guys. Today we're going to do lesson 1-1 in our math workbook. You're going to need 4 things for this lesson. You need your place value chart and whiteboard. The place value chart looks like this. So that whiteboard thing that we gave you guys, you're going to need that. You're going to need your math journal. This is your math journal. You are also going to need a dry erase marker and a pencil. You can pause the video and go grab those things that you need. All right, so now that you've grabbed the things that you need, we're going to start working on our lesson. So first, before we start in our workbook, we're going to just do a quick little tour of this place value chart. Another name for this is place value tool, or place value chart is what we can call it. All right, so you will notice that there's 4 sections on there. The first section has orange boxes and it says ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, it is so every time we move from the from the right to the left, that's like multiplying by 10. It's 10 times bigger. So tens are 10 times bigger than ones, hundreds are 10 times bigger than tens, and then we have this comma here, and then we have the thousands period. So you notice we have the ones period, we have the thousands period, and then we have the millions period and the billions period. All right, so we have thousands, which is the smallest value there, then we have 10,000s and 100,000s. So you'll notice, if you look at your chart, that the place value to the left of each of those sections always has a value of 100 of whatever the unit is, right? So we have hundreds here in the ones period. We have 100,000s here in the thousands period. 100 millions in the millions period. 100 billions in the billions period. What place value is in the middle? Okay, hopefully you said 10 of whatever the unit is, right? So the one here in the ones period is tens. In the thousands period, it's the 10,000s place. In the millions period, it's 10 millions. And in the billions period, it's 10 billions. Okay, and then the smallest unit in each place value is on the right. So I'm going to write a number in my place value chart here. I'm going to write the number 247. That number 247 is made up of 3 digits, a 2, a 4, and a 7. Now let's talk about the value of each number. Each of those digits in that number has a value. So if we have 7 ones, the value of 7 ones is 7, right? Now if we have 4 tens, the value of 4 tens would be 40. If I have 2 hundreds, the value of that is 247. Okay? So the value of the 2 in the hundreds place is 200. Sorry, I misspoke a little bit ago. All right? So now I'm going to take that number 247 and I am going to write that out in word form. We're not today going to worry about what's called expanded form on the bottom. We're going to get to that, but we're not going to worry about it today. So I'm going to write that number out. So just like I say it, 247. Here's a fun fact for you. All of the number words between 21 and 99 have to have a dash in the middle, right? So if we were writing the number word 21, we would write 20-1 for the word, right? Okay, so we're going to use this place value chart as our tool to help us solve page number 2 in our workbook on lesson 1-1. So we're going to turn to lesson 2. So we're going to use this place value chart. It's going to be hard for us to see both of them. I'm going to scoot this down a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so number 1 says in 9,027, that's how we read that number, in 9,027, what is the value of the 9, the 0, and the 2? Let me stop for just a second, okay? That number 9,027 we wouldn't read that number 9027. We would say 9027. We skip over that 0 when we read it. So I'm going to plug that number into our place value chart. So 9027. So 27. See how easy it is to sometimes make a mistake? No big deal. Just fix it if you make it. So now we want to know, what is the value of the 9? The 9 is in the thousands place. So if we have 9 thousands, then that 9, the value of that 9 would be 9,000. We know that anytime we have the number 0, we have 0. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's in the ones, tens, hundreds, or ones, or thousands, or 10,000s, or whatever. If we have a 0 there, it's always worth 0. We have a 2 in the tens place, right? So if we have 2 tens, that number would be worth 20. Okay? So now we're going to do this next problem, number 2. In 82,075, not 82,075, but 82,075, what is the value of the 8, the 2, and the 5? I'm going to take this number and I'm going to write it onto my place value chart. And when I write big numbers like this, sometimes I have kids write them in backwards. So start with the ones place and write them in backwards so that you get them in the right place on your place value chart. And then we always want to read that number from left to right, just like we read books. So I can read that number as 82,075. Now I can go through and we're going to tell what value each number has. So what's the value of 8 10,000s? That would be 80,000. What's the value of the 2? That would be 2,000. And finally, what is the value of the 5? Just 5. Okay? So remember over here on my place value chart when I said every time we move from the ones to the tens, that's like 10 times bigger. When we move from the tens to the hundreds, that's 10 times bigger again. When we move from the hundreds to the thousands, 10 times bigger again. When we move from the thousands to the 10,000s, it's 10 times bigger again. Are you noticing a pattern here? So I'm not going to fill all these in, but every time we move from a smaller place value to the next larger place value, that is 10 times bigger than the one that's just the one to the right of it, to the smaller one, all right? So we're going to do number 3. The value of 1 and 10 is blank times as large as the digit 1. Okay, so the 1 in 10 is 10 times as large as the digit 1. Now we're going to do part B. The value of 5 and 500 is blank times as large as the value of 5 and 50. Okay, so the 5 in hundreds is how many times as large as the value of 5 in the 50 in 50? 10. Okay, part 4A. The value of 4 in 400 is blank times as large as the value of 4 in 40. Okay, so 4 would be 400 is blank times as large as 40. Again, that's 10 times. The value of 9 in 9,000 is blank times as large as the value of 9 in 900. So how many times larger is the thousands place than the hundreds place? 10 times. We're going to keep practicing that. If it doesn't quite make sense to you, we're going to keep practicing it. But just remember that rule, all right? So every time we move forward to or move over to the left on the place value chart, that is 10 times bigger than the place value that you just changed from. 5A, write a number in which the digit 7 is worth 70. So I'm going to write the number 73 because that number 7, the digit 7 is worth 70 in that number. If I add a 2 in front of that, is my digit 7 still worth 70? Yes, it is. So let's keep our new number, 273. It says write a number in which the digit 7 is worth 10 times as much or more, that's another way to say more, than the number you just wrote. So we're going to, when we say 10 times as much, that means that we're just adding a 0 onto the end of it. So it will be 2,730. So this number here is 10 times as large as this number here. Okay? I know that seems kind of tricky. We're going to keep practicing it again. All right, let's move on to number 6. It says, write the number that has a 3 in the 10,000s place, a 4 in the ones place, a 2 in the thousands place, a 6 in the hundreds place, and a 0 in the remaining place. Okay, so we're going to use this place value chart to fill those digits into the right space. Okay, so I am going to try to scoot this down a little bit. So hopefully you can see it. I'm going to fold this. That way you can see it a little bit better. So we have a 10 in the 10,000, a 3 in the 10,000s place. So the 10,000s place is here. So I'm going to put a 3 in that 10,000s place. Then it says to put a 4 in the ones place. The ones place is here, so I'm going to put a 4 there. A 2 in the thousands place. Thousands is here, so I'm going to put a 2 here. A 6 in the hundreds place. So hundreds is here, I'm going to put a 6 there. And a 0 in the remaining place. So that number that I wrote is 32,604. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Write the number that has an 8 in the hundreds place, a 6 in the 100,000s place, a 3 in the tens place, a 1 in the 10,000s place, a 7 in the ones place, and a 0 in the remaining place. Okay, so 8 in the hundreds place, 6 in the 100,000s place, which is here, 3 in the tens place, 1 in the 10,000s place, so 1 goes here, a 7 in the ones place, and a 0 in the remaining place. So that number says 610,837. Okay, all right, so we're going to not do problem number 8 like I said. Now for your math exit ticket today, you are going to be opening up your math journal and completing page number 3. I will be grading problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I am not grading problem number 5, but I do want you to do it. Try it, all right? If you guys need any help, you can Zoom me. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.